What's up guys, welcome to my channel, GGFOREX here, and on today's video I'm going to be going over the story of the price action. Where are you? I found out, I did a Q&A in my GGFOREX Facebook group, links down below by the way, and I asked them what are you struggling with, what can I help you with, what are you finding the most difficult? And the common answer was going in the wrong direction. So their problem was figuring out where they were in the bigger picture. They kind of predicted price, where it might go, but they didn't know where they were in that price action. So in today's video, I've already broken this down for my group a couple of days ago, but I'm going to break it down for you guys as well, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be struggling with this as well. And so what I'm going to teach you today is where price is, where it's going to go. It's not a guarantee where it's going to go, but where or how to read where you are in that particular price action, and how I do it and how I find it effectively. And what I'm going to do now is break down my AN trade like what I used for my to pass FTMO verification, right? So obviously I was selling that, and then I was only selling it to a point, and for that point I'm about to prove on the charts right now. So let's just break down the charts and show you guys what I mean by how to read where you are in that price action. Okay guys, I hope you can see me in the corner of the screen there. So this is my AN trade. So remember, if you guys watched my previous video on my full breakdown of why I took the sell, I'll just do a quick little markup on why. And I was selling from this 4-hour candle to here, and I was targeting is roughly down here, just below the equal highs. It was a 1 to 5, so I got a tighter entry on this. So I'll just go back, and what I will do is I'll show you guys. Where was it? Roughly this. This is a rough estimate, right? So this was my sell trade. I did the 1 to 5, it took me 10 days, but I was only selling down to this area because this is where I believed price was going to reverse. Why? Well, let's go up to the higher time frames. I like to do a full top-down analysis, but I'm just going to go on a daily for now. Okay guys, so this came down, took out these lows here. Let me just, came down, took out these equal lows on a daily time frame. Price mitigated out of this candle, this point of interest, okay, came down, broke even on their orders, manipulated these lows, then came higher, okay, took out these highs, showing me that it's breaking structure, showing signs of strength and continuing the bullish trend. You can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher high. So I'm expecting a flag back down. That is where I got in on my sell on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so I saw distribution in the shape of what I like to call top half of a circle. Okay, I like to dumb it down: accumulation, bottom half of a circle; distribution, top half of a circle. Okay, it left a really nice points of interest here, came down, mitigated me, triggered me in, came down to again hitting my TP, and also coming down and hitting my points of interest down here with this candle. Okay, so then what was I seeing? This is where I was expecting price to reverse. Okay, so I was selling down to a point. If you were to sell down here and think, oh, it's going to continue to go low, I want a 1 to 10 or whatever, you wouldn't have got it. Okay, because price came down here to this area, which caused this big impulsive move, right? So I was TPing at a realistic area because I understood where I was in that story of the price. Price action is a story. You just got to read price like it's a book. It's another language. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it, but it's another language, basically. That's all I can describe this by. So you need to figure out, okay, this is where price is. Where is price going to go? So for me, price was coming to come back to mitigate out of their orders, which caused this huge bullish move up, right? Breaking structure, showing signs of strength. So when I was selling, I had that in mind. I knew that when I was selling this, it was only going to be a short-term sell. It's not a long-term sell, it's a counter trend trade. So I knew that going in. So I'm not going to aim for the moon, right? So my TP was in a realistic area, because there's nothing worse than price putting you in profit, coming near your TP, and reversing and going back down to where it was, just because you got a little bit greedy, or you just didn't understand what the price was doing, where you were in that story, where you were in that action, to take full advantage of the charts and get the most amount of reward to risk possible out of that particular trade. So now price has come back down into my point of interest, right? It's showing me a bottom half of a circle, an accumulation in Wyckoff terms, okay? So let me just zoom down to the 1 hour so you guys can see it more clearly, and I'll delete my sell trade. So I was seeing price on the way down, okay, on the way down, making equal highs. To me, this isn't support or resistance, even though this is a support and resistance lines, but I know people will be getting in on this for a sell, meaning there's liquidity up here, okay? People are going to be seeing that as a resistance, because look, bounce off once, twice, 3 times, multiple times, and a huge push away. So people are going to be seeing that as an area of resistance. So that gave me more confirmation price was going to go up. Then if you have a look here, okay, price, if I do it from here, it'd be easier. Price came down, right? Price is stepping down. Ooh, wrong one. RSI stepping up, okay? We have bullish divergence, and remember this is on the 1 hour time frame. If I go up a time frame to the 4 hour, let's have a look. So not quite bullish divergence on the 4 hour, but again, in our point of interest, okay? So we have 1 hour bullish divergence. Then we have this bottom half of a circle accumulating. So if I can find a circle at all, let's see if I can figure out how this works. That'll help. So what I'm seeing roughly in my head, just so I can show you guys, is this, okay? This is what I'm seeing. It's causing a bottom half of a circle. This is, to me, is a Wyckoff accumulation. I have bullish divergence. It's in a key or a higher point of interest, so higher time frame point of interest with that daily candle, okay? Now it's showing accumulation in that area and bullish divergence in that area. I'm going to be starting to look for buys because this makes more sense. So for me to look for buys, I didn't really find anything that interesting on the 1 hour, but on the half hour, that is when I found something interesting, okay? I found an entry point for my trade. Okay, so during the New York London cross, which is this orange area, okay? So green is London, orange is New York and London, and red is just New York. These are my session times in the background. So as you can see, a huge sell-off, taking out lows. If I zoom in, we might be able to see more what's going on in that area. So as you see, we've had accumulation, creating a trend line gets broken, taking people out of their trades, and then a huge bullish move up, okay? Breaking structure to the top side, showing strength, leaving imbalance behind that I know needs to be filled, because the market needs to be balanced, okay? So the half hour time frame was my point of interest, because that made the most sense. It was the most clean to me, okay? So what did price do? Come back, and now I know AN, AJ, a lot of the AUD pairs and NZD pairs tend to get a bit wicky, especially towards New York close, because obviously when New York closes, Australia, New Zealand and Tokyo wake up to start their trading. So those pairs tend to be quite wicky, and of course the spreads go mental past 10 p.m. GMT. So again, bear that in mind. Understand where you are in the story, understand where you are in their price action, understand where price most likely will want to go on the higher probability side, okay? Remember, trading is probability, and then understand what's going on in the world. What time frame are you? When are you entering the market? Are you entering the market when there's crossover within sessions, okay? So there's manipulation from Asian London, because when London opens, they have the higher volume, they move the market more, they put more money into the system, they tend to wipe out and manipulate Asian price action, okay? Same with New York, doing that to London session, and obviously now Asians doing it to the New York session. So you need to understand multiple different factors that go with your bias and confluence into getting into that trade. Okay, so you're building a bigger picture, you're building a story. But for this example, I'm showing you why I took the sell to that point and why I'm entering a buy at that point, because I'm understanding where I am in the story. I'm understanding where I am in a bigger picture. Okay, so again, obviously price came down here, triggered me in, moved up, came back down again, where again a huge wick happened at the end of New York session Asian crossover. Okay, huge wick happened again, just how I got triggered in the first place, right? So this is why I don't really like moving to break even. If you move to break even, you would have got stopped out. So again, price came down, entered me back in, and then moved up, and then eventually took out this liquidity, pool of liquidity up here. If I zoom out on a 4 hour, you'll be able to see it a lot better. So again, yes, that was only a 1 to 3.5, okay? I'm not trying to go for massive gains, I'm just trying to go for realistic gains, okay? If I went down to the 1 minute time frame, I might be able to snipe it, but again, that's not my trading style. That's not how I like to trade. I like to go for the higher time frames, take the stress out of the situation, give myself a lot more free time in my life. And obviously when you have a 9 to 5, you can't be on the charts 24/7 getting those sniper entries. It just doesn't work when you're away from the screen 10 hours a day, okay? So that's how I like to trade. So if I bring in this all together now, I saw where price most likely wanted to go to, not a guarantee, okay? So that was when I did my sell to my point of interest. And then when it hit my point of interest, I had multiple different confluences into why, or to go with my bias of why price wanted to move. Remember, I'm trading with the higher time frames, okay? So that sell, right, was just a retracement on a higher time frame. So that sell on the 1 hour/4 hour was a higher time frame retracement. Okay, that's why it took 10 days, because it was a counter trend trade, and the fact there's an AUD pair, and I know Aussie pairs move a lot slower than euro and pound pairs and dollar pairs, okay? So you need to understand a bunch of different things, put them all together to read the story. So what I want you to get from this is go up to the higher time frames. If you're on the 4 hour, go daily, weekly, monthly. Understand where that price is. Understand where price is at the moment, because if you're saying yes, it is bullish on the higher time frames, but it might actually be in the stage of retracement on those higher time frames. So on the lower time frames, maybe the 4 hour and the 1 hour, look for sells down to the higher time frame points of interest. Again, guys, I know it can be confusing, and I've got you. So if you have any questions, join your GGFOREX group, because I broke it down in there also, so that might hit you in a different way. You might pick things up in a different way than what you did in this video. But again, I hope this made sense. I love you all. Thank you for all the support. And I've got my contract approved by FTMO. I've got my first invoice done, because obviously I get refunded for passing the challenge. That is done. All I need to do now is wait for them to email me my new login credentials for my account, and I have changed it, because I know you guys have commented on previous videos, or my previous video of when I passed was I've actually changed it to a swing account. Now, with that account, I know it has less leverage. A normal FTMO account is 1 to 100. A swing account is 1 to 30. I understand that can be a pain for some people, but not really for me. I don't really have a lot of trades going on at the same time. I only have 1 or 2 maybe open at the same time. And that's just how I like to trade. So I don't think 1 to 30 leverage is really gonna affect me much, but it's something to bear in mind for you guys. So exciting times ahead, and when I do my first FTMO withdrawal, I'll be using that money to take the 70k challenge after that. Okay guys, so thank you for the support, like, share, subscribe. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next one.